Forsaken has not been out for very long, and already there is a round 100 plus strat. This involves the new Chrysalax wonder weapon, which makes sense because of how overpowered this thing is. This thing just eats, and with this strat you will see why. I wanted to take this round 100 strat and kind of just optimize it in a way, just add a few little things here and there and make it its own video, and hopefully this should be able to help you get round 100, or at the very least a very high round in your game. Now we're going to begin with your loadout and what to be taken into your match, and although the Chrysalax wonder weapon mainly does just cover this whole strat, there are a few other little things here that I am going to recommend to make those higher rounds feel a lot less stressful. So as for your loadout, I would go in with a shotgun with brain rot. I used the Gallo in my gameplay, but the Hauer will do just as good a job because, I mean, it is the Hauer. In terms of field upgrades, yeah, it's Ring of Fire again. Make sure this is upgraded to tier 5. For your lethal and tactical equipment, you should have Semtexes and decoys or Gersh devices, so long as you're picking up all the salvage you can in your game. But if you want to stay more on the safe side here, then decoys are the way to go. And for your kill streak, make sure you have a death machine. A chopper gunner may be useful to you as well, since you will be using it to get yourself out of a sticky situation. These kill streaks are going to be your last minute lifesavers, if anything. You got everything? Great, let's get into the strat. So when you spawn in, you're going to want to be doing your usual routine in a game. This is obviously going to be point building, setting up power and pack-a-punch, getting your perks locked down, and getting your Chrysalax, which if you don't know how to do, I have a guide on my channel. I'll put it in an iCard. It's a little build side quest. It's really easy to do actually, and it will guarantee you the wonder weapon. And it's important you get this because you need this for the strat. So if you don't know how to get it, then go watch that guide and then come back here. So once you have your Chrysalax, make sure that you're saving up for pack-a-punch for this thing, obviously, so you're going to get the most power out of it for as long as possible. And what you're going to want to be doing is going back to spawn, and you're going to see that at the staging area there is a workbench, an armor station, and in between those two there's this truck, and you're going to want to mantle onto it, whip out your Chrysalax. Zombies won't climb up behind from the sides, they will only go right in front of you facing that workbench. And the thing you'll notice about this strat, and now you will see why it's so efficient, is that zombies will only climb up from one direction. They'll just go over this railing, which makes this strat not only very easy to do, but for the most part fairly straightforward. Although this strat does have some hardships, and I'll get to those, don't worry. But what you're going to want to do is once you're sat comfortably on this truck, you're going to want to just look down at the zombies and start butchering, slicing and dicing them without a care in the world. And early on, whilst your Chrysalax is a one-hit kill, this is not going to be a problem. This is going to be a breeze. It's going to be very, very easy to do. There's going to be a few hiccups though, such as the Margwa things. They're the abominations that will come and try to ruin your camping fun. What you're going to want to do to deal with these things is pop your Ring of Fire and then just start hacking away at them so you can just get them out of the picture very quickly. And then once you've done that, just focus back on the zombies, and you're just going to want to rinse and repeat that process. But however, if you don't have Ring of Fire fully charged up at this point and there's a Margwa, then this is what your minigun is going to be used for. Pull it out, start spraying the minigun at the Margwa or abomination, whatever you want to call it, and it will deal chunks of damage and it will get the problem solved fairly quickly. And then as for the cleanup, because at this point zombies will have started getting on whilst you're focus firing on the Margwa, you're going to want to jump off of your truck, throw a decoy, and then all the zombies will go to that, and whilst they're distracted, throw a Semtex in there into the crowd, and that will most likely instantly refill your Ring of Fire. Even do this after you've just used your Ring of Fire, because there is going to be a time where you're going to need Ring of Fire again, and if it's not charged up and ready to go, then say goodbye to those high rounds. You can also use your Gersh devices to fill up Ring of Fire too. When Ring of Fire is active as well, if there are any disciples or tempests around your area, whilst the Ring of Fire has you protected, focus fire on them. You can use the spinny blade from the Chrysalax to hit them. That usually does the trick, but it seems to be on a cooldown after using it for so long. So don't be afraid to jump off and go and deal with them. And disciples seem to go right up to the truck, so you actually can just reach them from there with the normal melee attack. You could even change it into the gun form. It's up to you really, but just do one of those things and you should be fine. Now early game, you're not going to need to use Ring of Fire fire on them specifically, although later game there's going to be times where you may need to do that. I'm also going to throw a quick bit of advice in here as well. Once you've used your death machine, I advise just burning it and then buying a new one, because you're going to have more than enough salvage to keep on top of them anyway, so you're not going to need to worry about saving bullets in it. And plus, it's much better to go into an abomination fight with a fully loaded one. But other than that, when it's early game and you're doing this strat, you'll be fine so long as you're just taking precaution and knowing when and when not to use Ring of Fire. And really quickly, let's talk about power-ups. Now, power-ups in high round strats, you would think that you would need all of them, but the one thing which you would think you would need more than pretty much anything other than a max ammo is actually going to be more of a detriment to you than it is going to be of aid. Insta-kills are going to be a big no-no in this strat, an exception being, however, if you have a full Ring of Fire just waiting to go and you see an insta-kill, you may as well grab it because you don't need to worry about filling up your Ring of Fire meter. However, when you need to fill up your Ring of Fire ability, do not get insta-kills unless it's an absolute emergency, because insta-kill kills don't actually count towards your Ring of Fire ability filling up. And as for nukes, I don't know yet in this strat if it's faster to grab nukes or if it's faster to just wipe the wave out by yourself. So for this, I'm just going to say if you feel like you need to get one, then just get one. As for the shotgun I told you to get brain rot on, this is something that I like to do. At the beginning of a round, when you see a zombie coming near you, switch to your shotgun, hit it with the brain rot because it would have cooled down by then, and then let the brain rot zombie do its thing, especially if this is tier 5 brain rot. It's safe to say that this is going to be really effective to you once all the zombies are hoarded up as well, since if you have brain rot tier 5, if a brain rot zombie dies near other zombies, they're turned as well. Now this isn't super essential to the round 100 strat, but I do think that it's a nice little bonus to add in there. So you're early game and you're doing pretty well, but just remember here that Chrysalax isn't going to be a one-hit kill forever. Now your Chrysalax is going to stop being a one-hit kill at round 44. So once you hit 44, things are going to play out a little bit differently, but not too drastic. Just keep doing what you're doing. You'll have to put up more of a fight, don't get me wrong, and some zombies are going to be able to climb on top, but don't let that panic you, because just keep slicing away at them and they'll be minced meat in no time. You'll find that Ring of Fire is going to be used a bit more often here, and everything I've said earlier still applies, but you're just going to need to keep on top of things that little bit more. Don't be afraid to use more semtexes, more decoys, whatever you need to do, but just try and keep control of that truck at all times. Remember, there's an armor station behind you as well, so be refilling your armor, and I hope that you have level 3 armor, as it's very important to have. And if one too many zombies start pushing you back, then jump off the truck and throw your decoy, throw your semtex, and do a quick lap round, and you'll be able to jump on this little box here, and then you can just hop back onto the truck. It's very easy actually, because sometimes the truck is a bit swarmed, whereas if you just go on top of that box, you can get back on the truck a lot easier. And when you clear a round in these higher rounds, make sure that you're getting all the salvage you can off of the floor, because you are most likely going to be buying semtexes, decoys, death machines, as well as armor refills much more often. Now let's talk about what will happen if you manage to go down above rounds 44 onwards. And if this happens, it's not going to be easy to recover, I will tell you that. But you're going to want to run straight to the Pack-a-Punch portal, which is only to the left of the workbench. It's actually really close by. I recommend buying PhD Slider if you lose it when you're down in the Pack-a-Punch room. You may as well whilst it's there, and being able to slide around really fast is going to be very helpful for trying to get a quick and swift recovery. You're going to need to be going to the Wonder Fizz, which is located in the office. If you have any decoys or Gersh devices, use them, grab as many perks as you can, and if you only get a few perks, then don't be afraid to run back to the spot, finish the round, and then get the rest of the perks. That's a thing I wish I did in my game, and it definitely cost me. So don't run around the office like a headless chicken. If you need to do a tactical retreat, then definitely do so. And overall, round 44 plus is just everything you have been doing, but just much more fast paced. And so there's a bit of micromanaging that happens there. You're going to be using Ring of Fire more often, there's no denying that, because you have a much higher chance of getting overwhelmed, although, like I said, it's definitely controllable. And don't be afraid to retreat from the truck and do a quick lap round, just to throw the zombies off a bit and separate the horde. And if you just keep following that guide, then you should be fine and well on your way to round 100. But anyway, anyways, I'm going to leave this video here today. If you found this guide helpful or you enjoyed, then be sure to smash the like button. Comment your thoughts on this round 100 strat down below, and only a very small percentage of people are even subscribed to the channel, so if you've made it this far, subscribe, you won't regret it. Turn on the notification bell too to stay notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.